Still developing across the pond, a possible Princess Kate sighting. According to the UK Independent, she was reportedly seen shopping near her home this weekend. It comes after that photo editing scandal and growing questions about her health. Joining me tonight is Nicholas Cull, an expert in British politics and Anglo-American relations. Thanks for being here tonight, Nicholas.
Oh, thanks for having me, Shayna.
So there's been so much speculation for weeks and weeks now. Can you set the record straight? As of right now, what do we really know for sure?
Well, what we know is that Kate has been unwell and has had some kind of treatment. And we also know for some reason that the British royal family has chosen not to talk about it. And I think that's a problem because just like the devil makes work for idle hands, so the rumor mill makes facts where material is omitted, and they fill in the gaps with wild fantasies, and that's what we're absolutely what we're seeing now. And it was completely avoidable, a completely avoidable crisis.
Yeah, you know, from my own very American perspective, I'm not quite as steeped in this as you are, of course. It seems odd that, you know, quite soon after giving birth, we are used to seeing people like Kate present in public. So what could possibly be going on that has her seemingly hiding?
What I think is happening is that this has to do with the problem of healthcare in the UK, where we have historically had a great healthcare system, but it's under a lot of strain right now. And I think what happened is that the royal family got some kind of special deal for Kate with maybe a foreign consultant flown in, and the scale of her superior treatment is such that they're a bit embarrassed about it, and so don't want to speak about exactly what happened to help her get back together. But they, by keeping the details of her treatment secret, I think they've created a much larger problem. And the business with the photograph was really unforgivable, because right now we've got a worldwide problem ensuring the integrity of photographs. Remember, 50% of the world's population have elections this year. The last thing anybody should be doing is manipulating photographs or interfering with the integrity of photographs. That is a really bad idea. And Kate and the royal family should have known better than to get on the wrong side of that story.
Yeah. I mean, couldn't a lot of the speculation just be stopped quite easily with I don't know, an interview or an appearance? We keep hearing whispers and spottings.
No, and I
couldn't
believe I've heard it will all be, she will be appearing at Easter, I've heard, and so it should all go away. But this all goes to show how significant the royal family remains and what a big news story it is in the United States, which is always a surprise to me as a British person, that Americans care so much about what happens in the UK around the royal family. But maybe it's just like a live action soap opera, and not quite hasn't quite got the issues that has for British people, where it's to do with national symbols and things like that, and a sense of continuity for the country.
So what does all of this do, especially the photo editing portion of it all? What does this do for the credibility and trust in that institution?
Well, I think that to understand what's happening with the British royal family, you've got to realize that 30% of British people, or about a third of British people, will support the royal family whatever, and a third of British people don't want anything to do with them. That means that in the middle, you've got people who are in play who will be, if not pro-monarchy, at least pro-monarch. And I think the royal family has to always remember that it has this group that can change sides, and that it has to appeal to and keep positive, keep on side. And I think we can see that historically, when a monarch has been open and has listened to the people, they have been welcomed, but they have to remain in touch.
Yeah, of course.
And King Charles knows that, and I'm sure that Prince William has been told that, but this is this is an example of where they have to up their game, I believe.
Sure. And speaking of the king, this is all happening as he is dealing with his own health issues. Is there any connection between it all?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just really unfortunate timing. But I think it's been interesting to see how much goodwill there is towards the king, and also goodwill towards Camilla. It's been interesting to see how people are now warming to her as a public figure and are impressed that she's taken up a lot of the slack and performing royal duties, which we must remember she was not born for. She's married into it and taken it on quite a late stage in life. And there are a lot of reports that she's doing a very good job and is being acknowledged as a positive figure.
Yeah, fascinating, all of it. Nicholas Cull, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.